Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. This is going to be a very short intro to this well overdue reading vlog that I was supposed to post maybe a month ago when I came back from my holiday when I went to Amsterdam. But yeah, better late than never. And I kind of realized when I started editing it that I don't have an intro for it, so this is my way of introducing it. I have this weird hairdo that I've tried out and it's not my thing, but I'm too lazy to take it down, so just bear with me. And what I want to say about this reading vlog is that it wasn't really very well planned, so there's going to be a couple of random kind of clips thrown in there so you can just see how my holiday went. But I do have some tour guide stuff that I think you may enjoy. I'm going to walk you through a couple of major squares in Amsterdam that are really fun. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I did read two books, I think, for this reading vlog, ones that are very summary. You're going to hear some of my thoughts on them, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. So let's just dive in. Let me take you through Amsterdam and my holiday, and see you next time. A very good morning, everyone. I just wanted to show you what kind of a gorgeous day I've been having here in Amsterdam. It's been so sunny, very unusual for spring in the Dam. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what my morning is going to look like. I've decided, because my mother-in-law is an angel, she's taken my baby to the playground, my partner is still sleeping, and I just decided to take that morning for myself and go to a bookshop here. I'm going to go with my trusted bike. I'm going to show you in just a second who is accompanying me on my trip. And unfortunately I cannot film while I'm biking around because there is a hefty fine here in Amsterdam if you drive around with your bike and your phone in your hand. So I'm just going to show you my bike. I'm going to show you how gorgeous it is here, and then we're going to move on to the bookstore. Okay, see you in a little bit. And this is my trusted friend here, my little bike that's gonna accompany me. And there's a lot of background noise always here in Amsterdam, so don't mind that. And then you have the beautiful Amsterdam weather and streets here. So we've come to the center of the city. I'm going to play a little bit of a tour guide. I'll show you some sites that are very popular here in Amsterdam. You're seeing the boats behind me. This is one of the canals where you can take a boat cruise through the canals of Amsterdam, and it's one of the more picturesque places. I'm going to flip the camera in a second so you can see it, because the streets around the corner here are so small, so tiny, and so cute. They're absolutely gorgeous to walk through. And then just walking distance from here we have the Dam Square, which is the main square in Amsterdam, where you have the Palace of the Queen. I'll show you that in a second as well. And from here on, if I walk straight forward, I'll have a Waterstones bookshop and also the American Book Center, the one that I frequent the most here in Amsterdam. And then there is one Dutch one which is just to my right that I'll visit as well. I'm going to try to take you with me, but I'm very uncomfortable with filming within stores. I'm going to try to take you with me to see what they have on display at the moment. And yeah, let's just stroll through Amsterdam so you can see a little bit of the city with me. I'm going to flip the camera in just one sec. Alrighty, so here we have the boat place I told you about. It's very cute. And here actually are the typical Amsterdam types of houses, which typically are very crooked. And we have here the little street where if you walk through this street you'll be at the shopping street here in Amsterdam. Amsterdam is very famous for not having any shopping malls. All of the shops are located in famous streets like the Kalverstraat and the Nieuwe Dijk. But here we have the little small streets that I told you about. They're so cute. And the dangerous thing here in Amsterdam is that the traffic comes from bikes, not so much from cars. You can see way over there a parking spot for bikes, but actually most of the bikes are now stalled underground because there's just too many bikes and they kind of clutter the city. So the city has decided to put up these green parking thingies where you can go down with your bike and park them underground. So everything is here like in the streets. You see it's very classic, but at the same time everything is very modern. They think of solutions for everything here, so it's an amazing place to be. I'll see you in a little bit when I go to the shops. So this right here is the water stones that we have in Amsterdam. This is kind of similar to, I think, to Barnes & Noble, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a UK variety of a bookshop that has transferred over to Amsterdam. So I kind of left Waterstones. It's quite a big store, but the problem that I have with Waterstones is that they don't really have a romance dedicated section. So if I want to look for books, I need to go through so many different fiction shelves that it kind of feels like a waste of time for me. So I'm just going to try another one to see if I'll have more luck, because you're gonna see in the clip before that there is kind of a little table where they have this everyone talks about these books, where you have a couple of romance books that are circulating probably on Book Talk, but not really a dedicated romance shelf. So I'm just going to try the American Book Center to see if it will give me some better luck, and I'll take you with me. Let me just show you the front here. Ooh, let me flip my phone. By the way, I'm filming without my microphone, so you might be hearing all these different kinds of noises. I do love that they have this display here of summer reads. What do they have here? They have Happy Place. They have R.F. Kuang. They have, what do they have? All kinds of fiction books again, obviously. Oh, they do have Christina Lauren's True Love Experiment, but it's mostly fiction, thrillers, and so forth. Let's just see if they have a dedicated romance shelf. So we've got another bust here on the American Book Center. It opens at 11 and it's still around 10ish. So I need to go to the other bookstore, the Dutch one, to see if it works at all. If it's open. I would assume that they open at 10, but I don't know why this one opens at 11. I stopped filming. I'm an idiot. Let me just... Oh, so you can see this gorgeous little street. Look at it. And then here you have the little bikes. And there is a museum over there that I've actually never been to, but I don't have the time for it right now. But look at this gorgeous street with all these pretty flowers. And then we're going to go through the shopping street. Lots of noise. Sorry about that. At least you're going to get to see the shopping street with me. There's a cute little dog. And this, folks, is the shopping street, the famous Kalverstraat. But I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to go to the bookstore. See you later. So the Dutch bookstore was a bust for me as well, because as you saw in the previous clip, most of the books were really ones that are really hyped up books, ones that I've either already read and have no interest in rereading, or ones that I have no interest in reading, or ones that I already own. So I don't really want to purchase books that I haven't read yet and I don't know whether I'm going to love. I really want to keep my purchase of books very strict to books that I know I have loved or am going to love. So yeah, it was a bust for me, but that's not something bad, because I actually am very happy that here we have access to Amazon, so I can very easily purchase books from Amazon. I already found that the Grip trilogy by Kennedy Ryan, books that I have read and don't own yet and definitely want to own, are currently on sale, so I'm definitely going to buy those. And then yeah, I'm just going to browse around on Amazon which books I can purchase from there and just get them home within a day or two and then take them back home with me. And in the meantime, we've come to the most central spot within the city center of Amsterdam. I'm going to flip the camera in a little bit so I can show you where we are. Let me just go back, and I'm very bad at filming, but here we have the Grand Krasnopolski Hotel in the background. It's very famous, a very famous landmark here, and if you want to meet at the dam, many people say let's meet at the Krasnopolski. And then the monument that you see in front of me is the National Monument, which is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, a monument that really represents the freedom after the Second World War. So on the 5th of May here in the Netherlands, it's the national independence, like a freedom day after the Second World War ended. So everyone comes around here on the 5th of May and commemorates all of the fallen. And then here we have the Bijenkorf, which is the big warehouse that exists for many years here. So I told you that they don't really have malls here, but this is the only exception. This is a warehouse where you have a very high-end luxury brands that are being represented within it. So you'll have Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Cartier, like all the big high-end brands that have like little spots within the warehouse. And then I'm going to flip and show you. This right here is the National Palace in Amsterdam. It's the queen, the king. Now we have a king. I always say queen because when I moved here back in the day, we had a queen, but now we have a king. Actually, it's King Willem Alexander. This is their palace in Amsterdam, but they actually don't reside here. So they only come around for specific rituals. And also, like when they have like states visits, maybe, I'm not sure, but I think it's also open to view from the inside if you purchase a ticket. And then there on the right, there is, I think it's called, was it the new church or the old church? I always mix them up, but it's a very popular church where you have a lot of exhibits. Because the Dutch are Protestants, most of them, the churches are have a very different style than the Catholic style, so they don't really have any kind of like statues or any kind of decorations. They always have very big windows, and inside are very minimalist, but they always have this grandeur inside of them. So if you are planning on visiting Amsterdam, always go through one of their churches to see the difference, because it's very interesting to view one, at least in my opinion. And then over here on the left we have the famous Madame Tussauds, where you have the wax statues of very famous people. I've been there about 3 or 4 times, and they have different wax displays every time. Like there's a couple of fixed ones, but it's always fun to visit. And yeah, I definitely recommend this one as an attraction as well. And what do we have here? Here we have a couple of diamond stores, and there is a very lengthy street which leads here to the red light district. I'm not going to show you the red light district because it's something that you need to view for yourselves, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting place to see. And yeah, this is basically the main square of Amsterdam. So I'm back home, but before I go up and start off my day with my little one and my partner, we're supposed to go to this wonderful park. I just wanted to let you know which books I've been reading before yeah, my day starts basically. I really have taken the time on my holiday to just relax, and I really haven't read very much, to be honest. I just finished yesterday a book by Alexandra Warren, which is called If Only for the Summer, because I've been wanting to read books that will get me in the mood for the summer, and books that I can also recommend to you to pick up as your summer reads. So this is one that I just finished yesterday, and I really liked it. It was a very short read. I think it was about 7 hours, the audiobook, so it was quite easy for me to finish. The book centers on a single dad and a teacher who both get invited to the same house in Miami to spend the summer, each of them respectively by their best friends. But basically, those best friends who are married together, they didn't really communicate very well with each other, or maybe they planned it like that to have them spend the summer together. So we have the heroine who goes to this Miami house to spend her summer and also decide what she's going to do with her relationship, because she's been in a very long relationship that isn't really working out very well. And the single dad, he's going there to spend the summer with his son because he has been co-parenting with the mother of the child. They have a wonderful relationship together, but basically, yeah, he just wants to have that time to spend with his son. I'm just alternating my hands here because it's cramping, and I don't have my tripod here to help me out. But yeah, so both of them are in the situation where they have forced proximity, they have an immediate chemistry together, and we just see an amazing, first of all, maybe friendship bloom, and then we see an amazing romance bloom together with it, and we see an amazing relationship between the heroine and the child as well, because she's a teacher, so she has a lot of experience with children, which is wonderful to see how she handles the little one. I think he's a toddler, he's like 3 years old, so he's in this wonderful curious age, and she really deals with him very beautifully. And this is something that obviously also attracts the hero to her, and it's been a wonderful time, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's a 5-star read, but I definitely enjoyed it very much, so I gave it 4 stars. And it's a very spicy book as well. There's a lot of very top-notch theme within the book, so it was wonderful to get through because of that as well. And yeah, I basically definitely would recommend it as a summer read. It will probably be included in my video for summer recommendations to pick up. And then I started this morning One Hot Italian Summer by Karina Halle. I've been having a very good experience with Karina Halle. In the past couple of months, all of the books that I've picked up by this author have been 4.5 or 5-star reads from me, so I'm expecting a lot from this book, especially because it's set in Italy, my favorite country in Europe, so I'm very looking forward to see how this one will go. I'm about, I don't know, maybe 10% in, or maybe not, just shy of 10% in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. We have a writer, Grace, who is from Scotland. She has gone through a traumatic loss, and she's been dealing with writer's block, so she is going to need some kind of motivation to pick up on her writing because she has a deadline. And her agent, who is her new agent, they don't know each other very well, but the agent basically is banking on her finishing the book so that she can get her commission. So she's like, why don't you go to Italy for a month to try and break that writer's block? I have a house there that you can use for a month. And then yeah, basically that's how she picks up her stuff and goes over to Italy, to Tuscany specifically, one of my favorite places to be, to go and try to write that book. But when she gets there, The house is very pretty. She's kind of trying to get settled there. She goes to the swimming pool and she goes in her nude, and then a guy comes in with his child and catches her red-handed naked in front of the pool. So we have the situation going on right now within the plot, and I'm very interested in how that's going to work out, who he is, who the child is. I'm very curious to see. And yeah, immediately Karina Halle has me interested in the plot. So I'm going to be continuing this on. I'm not sure if I'm going to be finishing it today because I have a very nice day planned for myself and for my family, and we'll just wait around and see. I'll update you. I don't know if this is going to be a reading vlog. It's probably going to be a reading vlog, but anyway, I'm just going to update you when I update you, and I'm going to post this when I post this. So let's just wait out and see. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of Amsterdam with me, and I'll see if I'll be able to show you around a little more once the day gets rolling. And yeah, I'll see you later. Can we just appreciate how gorgeous it is in everywhere, actually, in spring? Look at the colors. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I'm on my way to see my baby, my partner, and I had a very busy day, so I'm just going to go ahead and wrap up my latest reading progress with you. I haven't finished One Hot Italian Summer yet. I don't know what it is. I think it's kind of a longish book now that I think about it, but I really didn't have the opportunity to really finish it. I did finish a big chunk of it. Oh, wait a second. I don't want to get driven over here by someone. Oh wait, look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is. And look at this little neighborhood. It's just so pretty. I think I'm more than halfway through it. I really haven't checked, to be honest, but basically I don't know where we left off with the last checkup, but we've got a Scottish writer who went to Italy to her agent's house. Turned out that her agent's house is not her own, but actually her ex-husband's, with whom she shares a child. So this author, she is in a very kind of a sticky situation where she's in a strange place. She was promised to stay there for a month, and now this gorgeous Italian guy, he's kind of like, what are you doing in my house? Fortunately, he was very understanding towards her situation, so he was like, you can stay here for the promised month, so you can write your book, because he's an artist as well. He's a sculptor, so he understands how important it is for her to really get her creative process going. So he allowed her to stay, and immediately we feel like he has some kind of an attraction to her, but at the same time she has a very nice connection with his son. So that's a very big factor, I think, for him, that he feels comfortable to be with her in the same house together with his son. And what I immediately noticed for myself is that this is not going to be a 5-star read for me, because it features a type of heroine that I'm not a fan of. She's very insecure. She's very kind of written to be oblivious about certain things, but when she actually acts upon specific sexual acts, she turns out not to be that oblivious. And I don't know, it just bothers me when we have someone who, like, we have a reluctant heroine, but she is reluctant and insecure on top of it. That kind of really doesn't work well for me. And he is the type of hero who is obsessed with her. He's the type of hero who will go through everything to get with her and to convince her to stay with him, which is not a bad thing, but the combination of her being insecure and him trying to convince her over and over to be with him, I was like, you've got a hot millionaire Italian stud on your hands who is begging you to give him a chance, and you're like, well, I haven't found myself, so I don't know. What is wrong with you, woman? Uh, and it's not like she doesn't have feelings for him. She does, but she's kind of convincing herself not to be with him for some reason. I don't know. It just didn't. Um, it's just not logical for me. So I'm filming this all bad. I feel like you're not seeing me very well, but this is my operator skills right now. So yeah, basically I like the setting. I love the setting. It's Italy, come on. And they just had sex in a Ferrari. I mean, on one hand I'm like, you go girl. That's really, really fucking cool. But at the other, I'm like, how do you have sex in a Ferrari? I mean, it's a very cramped car. And when he said in the end something like, I kind of feel bad now that I think about getting messy, the whole upholstery of the car. I totally felt for him, you know. So yeah, it was a nice scene, but I'm like kind of bugged by the heroine's attitude. So I'm not sure how I'm going to love the next portion of the book. I hope that it ends on a good note and that I can give it a 4-star, because a 5-star it's not gonna be for sure. And I'm going to let you know how it wraps up once I finish it. I hope you have a wonderful day and a sunny day as I am having right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello everybody, today is an amazing day. It's unseasonably sunny and warm, because in the Netherlands typically it's always very rainy, so it's incredible that we've been having such a lucky streak of amazing weather. So we decided to take my son to this pancake farm. We just had pancakes. I'm just wanting to show you around so you see where we are here. It's an amazing place. There's a playground, some animals. There's just such an amazing atmosphere for families to visit here. It's in the middle of a bit of a woodsy area, and it's just such a fun time for kids specifically. So let me just show you around a little bit. I'm going to flip and show you. This is part of the farm, and then this is the entrance. And they take such amazing care of the place. Look at this amazing tree, the little owl, and the little dog that is hiding in the bushes. Look at how splendid it is. And this is like a typical Dutch farmhouse. The typical Dutch bike, obviously, cannot go without. And then the whole place is having a terrace, an amazing big terrace for nice weather, like here. And they have all kinds of games and playgrounds for the kids. The animals are all, there's like a deer and geese and all kinds of birds here. Look at how cute it is. I'll try to show you on the inside, but there's just so many people. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to film everywhere, but this is what it looks like, and it's just so amazing. There's an old tractor here. I'll try to show you around a little bit more in a second. welcome back from the Windy City here in the Netherlands. I am going to be wrapping up this reading experience, and I just wanted to show you the last couple of sights from Amsterdam before I wrap up. I'm currently at the museum square where you have the Rijksmuseum. I'm going to show you in a second. The Van Gogh Museum, the concert hall, and just a very huge spot where all of the tourists are gathering around. So I'm just going to flip my phone and show you some sights, and then I'm going to wrap up the book that I finished. Let me then show you. This right here is the very big Rijksmuseum where you have a lot of Dutch art displayed. You have a couple of Rembrandts here. Actually, this week they wrapped up an exhibition which was art by Vermeer, who is I believe also Dutch, if not Belgian, I'm not sure, but I think he's Dutch. And it was widely popular, so there were like rows of people waiting to get in. And then when we switch over to go against the sun, so I'm not sure what you're going to be able to see, but over there we've got the Van Gogh Museum, that little building with a hat, and then that further up building after the flags is the concert hall where a lot of amazing classical music is being played. This is basically the museum square where you have a lot of tourists visiting around for some exhibits. There is the Stedelijk Museum, which is just behind the Van Gogh, so it's quite the spot to visit for some cultural experience. Back to me here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book that I finished, which is One Hot Italian Summer by Karina Halle. I've really been loving Karina Halle's books in the past couple of months. I've mentioned this before, and I think that this one is not my favorite, but it's definitely an amazing read to pick up around summertime, especially if you love the Italian setting, which I do. I told you my reserves about it in the last clip, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about that. I'm just going to tell you my overall remarks and experience. There is this trash bin here. I'm going to switch up to have a better view. So I loved it in some respects, but then I had some reserves about it in other respects. I liked that we had the possessive hero. I love that he was all about convincing the heroine that she's worth it, that she's beautiful, that she should love herself, and she should accept that she's a gorgeous woman and that he is absolutely in love with her. I love the Italian setting. I love the fact that she is a writer as well. I did think that the death of her writing partner would have played a bit of a bigger role within this book, but it didn't. It was a key part within it, but it wasn't the major like plot device within the story, which I think could have been maybe exploited a bit better. And then like my reserves about it were mainly about the heroine's insecurities and the fact that she was really very meek and very kind of mousy. So I would have liked for her to have a bit of more of a backbone. So yeah, overall I think that this is definitely a 4-star read. I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely would recommend it, especially for a summer read. But just go into this book knowing that it has a heroine who is not like the badass heroine that at least I love to see in books. So if you're looking for a book with that kind of a heroine, I think you would need to pick up maybe The Forbidden Man by Karina Halle, because there the heroine is quite more mature and secure of herself. So yeah, I think that that would be a good way of wrapping up that story. I hope you enjoyed this little stroll through Amsterdam the past couple of days with me. I'm going to be editing this vlog soon, so I hope it will be up on my channel as soon as possible. And then yeah, I'll see you in the very next one. As the Dutch would say, tot ziens, tot snel. And yeah, hope to see you soon. Have a very nice day. Take care. Happy reading and